Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I am coming to you. I want to do an all-inclusive kind of a Facebook Live today because we have received so many questions, and in order for me to answer all of them and to do them justice, I think I'm just going to do them all today so that we can get some of these questions answered for you. I get so many private messages as well as so many clients calling and asking all of these types of different questions, and I want to make sure that I am able to answer them and to do justice to the service that I am providing so that you can have all of the information that you need to be able to make an informed decision about your own future. One of the things that I always get questions about is, because I talk so much about VAWA, what exactly that entails and how do they know if they qualify. So let me go through that a little bit quickly with you. If you go through some of my old videos, you will see exactly what VAWA is, but I'm going to go through a summary right now. If you are married to a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, that's somebody who's holding a green card, or you have a child who is 21 years and up and is also a U.S. citizen, then you may be eligible under VAWA for you to be able to adjust your papers, to fix your papers here in the United States without having to leave. Now, this is mind-blowing because most of the time when you go to other attorney's office, they will tell you that you have only one option available to you, and that is that you file for a waiver and then you leave the country and you wait in your other country for however long it might take for your number to come up and for you then to go through the consulate, get permission to re-enter, and the whole process could potentially take, if not definitely months, but if not months, even years of you being separated from your family here and from your life here. It's an option that's available, yes, but it's not always the best option, especially when you have children who are dependent on you or you have family members who need you here. Nobody really wants to leave, uproot themselves, go to another place, and then wait their turn to come back in. So the other option is under VAWA, and in that way what you can do is you can fix your papers here, you can receive your work permit within 6 to 8 months, you can get your green card within 2 to 2.5 years, you can get Social Security, you can get all the security and protection that you would normally dream of having. And the way that you can do that, it's based on family or marital problems. So I always go through a couple of examples, and I'm going to go through some of them here because each and every single time it kind of manifests in different ways. And a lot of times people will do like their own analysis and then be like, oh, I don't qualify. But actually when they come in and they sit down with me in a detailed consultation, they will find out that, whoa, this problem that I thought wasn't such a big deal, or it's a problem that I've just kind of been dealing with and it's been painful for me, but I didn't know that it could give me an immigration benefit, can actually qualify me for this amazing visa. And one of those examples is, for example, I'm going to go through the parent-child one because I find like those ones are a little bit more difficult sometimes for you to fully understand. As a parent, you are used to the ups and downs of parenthood and relationship, and you are used to having this kind of understanding that yes, there's going to be days that you cry and days that you're in pain, but that doesn't mean that you would necessarily qualify for an immigration benefit until you come into my office and I go through all the different scenarios with you. So let me give you an example. I have seen families and they are perfectly great families. They're wonderful, they get along, they do all of the things, but they've had some hiccups over time. And some of those hiccups might have been that the child was very disrespectful to the parents or rebellious. He or she would stay out late and not let the parents know, would not pick up the phone, would not communicate about their whereabouts, was keeping secrets from the family, was doing side jobs and then not contributing to the actual family income, was refusing to help around the house, would make fun of the parents' accents or their inability to speak English, or even in some cases threaten them that they're going to call ICE, or that they are going to use physical violence, or that they are going to report their parents. All of those are instances of something that could qualify you for the I-360 application, which is this VAWA application that I keep talking about. Now, if we flip that over in marriages, how does that work? In marriages, it's very similar. It can be very controlling behavior. It could be that you are unwilling to, that your spouse is unwilling to accept you for who you are, and will consistently check your phone, will not allow you to meet with your friends, will make fun of you, will take the money that you have set aside for something else and use it for something else, will constantly check your accounts, will pay attention to every nickel and dime, even the money that you are earning, and then use it the way that they see fit. There's so many different ways. They're just rude, they're insulting, they deliberately will speak English in front of other people knowing that you don't speak English, or will make fun of you for not having the education that they have. Like I said, there's so many different examples, and what I urge you to do is to make sure that you don't do your own self-diagnosis, that you actually speak to a professional and you find out if it's possible that you might qualify for that. Because it honestly, it hurts me when I know that somebody qualifies for this type of a visa and they have just kind of written it off and said, oh, I don't qualify, without actually speaking to an attorney. So give our office a call at 630-504-0648 so I can actually speak to you. I meet with every single client personally, and I will personally make sure that we go through every single option with you. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was about U visas, because I get so many questions about U visas. Unfortunately, there are so many people that have been victims of a qualifying crime. A qualifying crime is one of those crimes that can qualify you for the U visa. For example, a robbery or an assault or a kidnapping or battery, being threatened in some way. Those are things that may qualify you for a U visa. A U visa is a wonderful option for somebody who has already suffered the unimaginable trauma of being a victim of a crime, and now you have a way for you to get your green card and all the perks that come along with it because of that. The thing about a U visa is that it's a two-step process, because what we first have to do is we have to get a certification from the police department and also from the state's attorney's office to show that yes, a crime has occurred, and two, that you are willing to cooperate with law enforcement to help them with the investigation of that crime. Sometimes we can reach a bit of a roadblock with that, and I will do everything I can to push that through, and I have great relationships with the local police departments in Chicago, but also in other parts of the country as well, where we will try to get that report certified. The thing that I always caution people about, though, is a U visa is not the easiest or fastest route. You have to be very, very patient. There is a very long waiting list for U visas, and there are many, many thousands of people on that list. So you could be looking to 10, 15 years for a U visa to get processed. So sometimes what we'll recommend is that you apply for the U visa, but as time goes by, we continue to talk to see if there's something else that you might qualify for, because it's very likely that we might be able to get you another visa in place of the U visa, because that thing takes such a long, long time. So I always want to tell people that, because a lot of times we'll get calls and they'll say, oh, I want to get my green card next year. I want to file for a U visa. That's not the way to do it. A VAWA is a very fast way, in relative terms, for you to get all of that paperwork taken care of. Another option for you is a T visa, which I spoke about last week as well. And that is if you are working in a job that is refusing to pay you what they have planned to pay you. So I have seen this in many, many different instances. For example, people who come here from India, from Pakistan, from Mexico, Guatemala, wherever they might be coming from, and they come into this country and then are somehow either coerced into a job that they hadn't planned on taking, or suddenly are told by their spouse or a family member or somebody else who kind of brought them in that, hey, in order for you to repay me for the airline ticket or the expenses that I incurred in bringing you over, you now have to do X, Y, and Z. So sometimes it'll happen, for example, like let's say that they start working at a local convenience store and they're supposed to work part-time. And all of a sudden they're working, not only are they working full-time, but they're also working overtime. They're working Saturdays and they're working Sundays. And then their money is being deposited into the so-called friend or family member or spouse's account directly, and they don't have access to it. Or they come into somebody's home who's taking care of them. And I see this quite a bit, especially in our communities among our clients, is that a lot of times you come in and you kind of know a friend of a friend or a cousin or an uncle or whatever, and that person is saying, oh, you know, come stay with me. I'll take care of you while you get back on your feet. And in fact, what they do is they'll say, oh, give me all of your identifying documents. So give me your passport, your driver's license, whatever you might have. I'm going to keep it in a safe place, and you know, you can get it when the time comes on. That is a problem because now you are essentially trapped in a situation in which you can't leave because they have your documents. Also, there might be threats that are being made to you, or there might be a way, for example, if you complain at your employer, at your boss, and the boss says, you know, well, I could just report you to ICE, or I could report you to immigration. All of these are different ways for you to potentially qualify for a T visa as well, which is a trafficking visa. So I wanted to throw all of these options out to you so that you know that there's so many different options and so many different choices available to you in immigration, not just the typical one, which usually people think, oh, I have to marry a U.S. citizen and that's the only way for me to get a green card. It's not the only way. There are other options. I urge you to call our office so that we can discuss them with you. We pride ourselves on creative solutions. I absolutely love coming up with having very hard scenarios and then coming up with a solution for you. So give us a call. My name again is Attorney Farrah, and the phone number is 630-504-0648. Have a great weekend.